These percentages related to the vaccine come from clinical trials that are well controlled. They're happening at a certain point in time, and they relate to the population that was enrolled. So I wouldn't make too much about the minor differences between some of these different studies, because again, they are studies and they relate to what we call efficacy, which is how you describe how they work within the study, versus effectiveness, which is what really happens when it goes out into the real world. So I, I would say once one of these vaccines is approved and we know that it's effective, the differences between one and the other at this point, I don't think make a lot of difference to me. My perspective on this, given where we are in the pandemic, is that even though at some point in the future one of these may shake out to truly be more effective than another, people should just get the one that they can get as soon as possible, in my opinion. It would be ideal, of course, for all of these studies to have the same level of efficacy in the studies, and we would know that all of these definitively are in the high 90s, like we saw with some of the initial studies. But I think the reality at this point is it's going to take us a while to really know, in with regard to population level effectiveness, what the real effectiveness is of these vaccines when they get given to people that weren't even the kinds of people that enrolled in the studies. And right now, given where we are in the pandemic and given how important it is that people get vaccinated, the bigger concern to me is that we have effective vaccines that get delivered to as many people as possible so we can stop the pandemic. And the sooner we get people vaccinated, even with a vaccine that might turn out to be slightly less effective than another one, the better.
Any vaccine manufacturer has to go through a process designed and defined by the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA. They have to conduct rigorous scientific evaluation of large numbers of people, typically around 50,000 people, and they look for adverse events among that. And any product, any vaccine or medication that shows a high rate of adverse events doesn't make it through. What we're seeing are tiny events, very small percentage events with these vaccines, not unlike any other vaccine. So there's a risk of an allergic reaction. The most common adverse event with vaccines is redness, swelling, and soreness at the site of injection. The allergic reactions that we're hearing about are very rare. These are rare events, but they are notable events. And to date, we are not seeing any unusual rates of allergic reactions or other types of reactions with these vaccines.